just want to thank you guys for coming out. Sharonda and I, when I met her, it was about literally a month in. I said, "You're it," and she didn't. She's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "No, like you're it. I know it. It's gonna happen." So we've been through a lot. It's been awesome. I appreciate you guys coming out. If you guys know me, of course, like half the people, of course, know me really well. That I've always treated like weddings almost like a funeral. Like, oh my God. But in a way, it's kind of like. Yeah, I want to get to. You ever heard of a living funeral, right? When people come in and they celebrate your life, and it's this beautiful thing where all your friends come in. You guys just listen to the song that I want played at my funeral, which is "What a Wonderful World." And so that's what came to me, and I thought to myself, what a more precious, more amazing moment for you guys to understand that, or know that in this thing, this is one of those things where I get to see all my friends, and that's what I've been looking forward to after this absolutely horrible year everyone had. We've all come together and sharing this, and for us, sharing something really beautiful. Sharonda, you guys know that she means the world to me, and I know I'm not supposed to take the stage about how much she means to me, but she means the world. And our family is just the most beautiful thing in the world. And I've been so blessed to know every one of you in this room, and for you guys to come here and share this with me and Sharonda, it just means the absolute world. So this is kind of like our living funeral in a way. We get to kind of have everybody come in. But no, the funny thing is we get to share the rest of our lives and like this, and I hope that we continue to do this. I hope we continue to get together and show this sort of love that we have here, because that's all I feel here is love. And thank you. Thank you for coming.
Testing. So this is very unplanned, but everyone that knows me, if you know, you know. You just know, but honestly, I feel like prior to ever meeting David, I've never truly lived or loved, really. And I met him and I was so resistant to it. I was like, no, not for me. You got kids, like, no, I can't do it. And he was just always like, you can do it. You just have to, you just have to open up your heart and stop fighting it. Stop fighting, just let it in. So I stopped fighting and I let it. And once you just let it, you get Jacob who just loves you. I didn't give birth to, I earned these two kids that I don't know if I truly deserve them. And it's God's gift, kids to us.
That's why
and
the third, which is revenge.
We got a revenge kid, that's for sure. But no, really and truly, we have never complimented each other so well, and the growth that he's able to give me, I just appreciate. I'm a better person, I'm a better woman. And I just, yes! And God, his family, they're amazing. I can call any one of them. I can get into it with his mom, and then she calls me we're good. I'm like, yes, we're good. His brother is, his oldest brother is just always telling me, you deserve this, you're right. Everything you want to hear, he tells you. And then his wife, Kathleen, is just amazing. And then there's my family who I'm like, Mom, can you get Jacob? Can you get Julian? Aunt Lynn, Bash is sick. He's contagious, but I need you to watch him. Just come over. I swear you won't get sick, And then my Aunt Michelle traveling miles away just to come see this day. And I truly am blessed to just have you all in this room, to feel loved. God, I love you, man. And no, he's it, and I'm just happy to share this all with you guys. And thank you. That's my speech.
For those of y'all who don't know me, my name is John Saul, and I've had the pleasure of calling David a close friend of mine over the past 6 years.
Also Cabana Boy.
Also Cabana Boy. And we initially met when I interviewed for a position at his practice. And I can still remember to this day sitting in front of him, incredibly nervous, turning red, shaking, and just trying my best to form complete sentences, much like how y'all are seeing me now. Fortunately, David saw through my nerves and he gave me a shot, and after that we became fast friends. We kind of bonded over things like football, spearfishing, and some of our favorite movie quotes from movies like Talladega Nights and Old School. One thing I realized early on is that David is always one to be cool under pressure. Whether it's an interview with a nervous athletic trainer or a high-stakes surgery, he always has a cool demeanor. But like with anything, that comes with exceptions. Which brings me to our lovely bride, Sharonda. David and I were working together and representing his practice at a local Tough Mudder event, providing medical care. And at that same event, Sharonda was on our medical team. This was the first time that their paths crossed. And this was all scheduled by Trish. A shout out to Trish. And this was the first time that I truly saw David's nerves. It had very little to do with the medical care, which he knows so well and performs excellently, and everything to do with the wonderful woman that he had the opportunity to work beside. They worked together seamlessly to take care of people as they came in injured off of the field, and as everything settled down, I was able to see that David was a little bit shaken. And at that moment, I knew that Sharonda was different. From that day forward, it was easy to see that Sharonda was an extraordinary woman. She's caring, fun-loving, and an excellent mother. And she even tolerates her whole garage being turned into a wood shop, which, you know, three-car garage. Sharonda, you're incredible, and you look absolutely gorgeous today. I'm so excited to see everything that comes for your future, all the love and happiness that life brings for you two and your family. There's so many people here that David and Sharonda would like to thank, and to try and go through and mention each of them would at the very least be risky. So I'll simply say thank you. I've been told that there are 2 secrets to having a happy and long-lasting marriage: a good sense of humor and a short memory. And that's also the key to you all enjoying this speech. Now, if you will all please join me for a toast. David and Sharonda, I wish you nothing but a lifetime of health, happiness, and love. To the bride and groom.
I met Dr. Dominguez when I was, I got hired by him, and I showed up at his office one day, and I walk in, and there's literally a phone on the floor, phone books, rocking chairs in the front, and a couple rooms that were set up, and that's where he started from the very beginning. We grew into the next one, and I got to know him really well. I got to know Dr. Dominguez, and I got to know Ellen, his mom, and our whole group started to form like a family, and Ellen and I would share some conversations sometimes. I had 2 boys myself, she had 3, and so I would listen to her stories and ask her kind of things, and she's like, you know, you've done a really good job here, but you gotta help me find somebody for him. And I'm like, there's no way I'm playing Cupid, like I'm not getting involved there. So fast forward, a few years later, my mom was really sick. She was in the hospital, and I go running into the ER that night, and I have my youngest son with me. And we tear into the ER, and all of a sudden, I hear somebody say, "Jake!" And I look around, and there's this gorgeous nurse standing right there. And he's like, "Sharonda!" He went to Long Doggers a lot, that's for sure. And so he runs up and gives her a hug. She goes, "Oh my goodness, what are you doing here?" And she said, "It's my grandma." And I said, "It's my mom." I said, "I'm his mom." And she's like, "Where is she?" She goes in there. She starts taking care of my mom, starts doing everything. And I fell in love with her. Like, she's smart and witty and kind, and she knew what she was doing. So we leave that night. I get to work the next morning. I'm like, Doc, I gotta tell you something. You gotta listen. I've met someone. And he goes, what? And I'm like, there's this girl, she's a nurse. Oh my God, she's beautiful. She's athletic. She's super sweet, so smart, because I know that's really important to him. He's like, she's so smart and she's gorgeous. And he's like, okay, so how am I gonna meet her? And I'm like, well, she works in the ER. You're a doctor. He's like, they frown upon doctors trolling the ER for dates. So we just kind of moved past that moment. And a year later, I was staffing the Tough Mudder that John was telling you guys about, and someone gave me Sharonda's name. And then Sharonda helped me find a few more nurses. Still didn't remember the connection. So I'm driving Doc there that morning, and we're almost to the Tough Mudder, and I say, oh my God, that girl Sharonda is working today. I forgot. And he's like, how do I look? Do I look like her? And so they meet each other. They were inseparable the whole day. They stuck right by each other's side. And I'd walk up to him a little bit. I'm like, hey, how's it going? He goes, well, I was just about to get her number and you walked up. I'm like, I'm sorry. So that's pretty much been it from then on. He's got his little adventurous Sharonda. She does everything.
It's hard to keep up.
It is. She's an amazing mom. She's an amazing stepmom. He's an amazing man. He's probably one of the kindest men I've ever known. And I just wish you guys happiness for the rest of your life. And I love you both.
I found a love